Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And this morning, AT&T reported its full year slash fourth quarter earnings. I'll leave a link to this in the description. This is straight from AT&T's investor relations page, so you guys could check out the numbers in full detail. So AT&T finishes 2024 strong, delivering growth in 5G and fiber subscriber service revenue, cash from operations, and free cash flow. So AT&T had a huge Q4, and that's leading, right? That's leading momentum into 2025 and beyond as to what we can possibly expect, right? Because it's not official, so possibly expect from AT&T and its 2025 guidance. So one thing I want to discuss very early on here is the revenue, right? Just to give you guys a comparison. So AT&T came in at 32.3 billion in revenue, which is a lot of money. But we want to point out, right, just to compare, Verizon still comes in at higher revenues. They're almost at 36 billion. I think it was like 35.7, and that's growing year over year by like 1.6%. So Verizon is still making more money than AT&T. So AT&T is trying to strike that balance where they could make the same money as Verizon if they wanted it to, but they would sacrifice their churn, right? They have the industry leading churn for the year. So Verizon on the other end is like, we will take price ups and we don't mind the higher churn. We make more money. So that's just as comparison, right? Just compare the two. Verizon today, right, until Frontier, does not operate a fiber to the prem size and scale like AT&T. So AT&T, in theory, should be making more money than Verizon, but they don't, because they don't really take the price ups as aggressive as Verizon, because AT&T is trying to protect their churn. So just something to think about. So to the numbers, 482,000 postpaid net adds with an expected industry-leading postpaid phone churn of 0.85. That is pretty high, right? We're used to seeing AT&T in the 07, 071, 072, but Q4 is very aggressive. We saw what Verizon posted on growth. They came in at 426,000 postpaid ads. So AT&T a bit more, but they also had a higher churn. So I fully expect T-Mobile to have a higher churn as well. I don't know if they'll have the highest. I wouldn't be surprised if T-Mobile comes in at 0.86, 0.87, or 0.88. But looking at Verizon numbers, T-Mobile might come in at the 0.9, 0.91, 0.92. It is very possible. At the numbers that Verizon came in at, they were pulling from both T-Mobile and AT&T. Right? That should not, now that we know the AT&T numbers, it shouldn't be a secret anymore that if T-Mobile does 6, 7, 800,000 in Q4, right, and their churn comes in at 0.9, 0.91, 0.92, Verizon was pulling from both of them. They were pulling customers from both of them, and from what I've heard, Q1 is looking all right, decent for Verizon as well. So the fiber net adds, that's another big one that I want to hear about on the earnings call when I join the earnings call. 307,000 fiber net adds. That is the most fiber nets that they've ever posted from what I recall. I usually see them at 200, 250,000, 300,000. That's a really, really good solid number to be at for fiber ads. And that just goes to show, as we move through 25, 26, as they scale and they get more penetration, those numbers should either be consistent or they should grow even higher. So that's a really good position to be in for AT&T. The fiber ARPU is $71. That is big for the company. And then here's the full year consolidated. So you guys could check that out. AT&T invested a total of $22.1 billion. That's a hefty amount. The free cash flow came in at 17.6 billion. Again, that's going to be a bit lower with the DirecTV falling off this year. Verizon came in at 19.8 billion because they sold off their tower assets to Vertical Bridge. So Verizon is expected to be at 17.5 to 18.5. AT&T is guiding down to like 16. So the market might not like that too much, but the AT&T should rebound relatively quickly once they get rid of the DirecTV acquisition. Might take a little bit, but they should rebound. So 1.7 million for the year. That's huge. And even with the 0.85, if you average it out, they came in at 0.76% postpaid churn for the year. Like I said, they prioritize churn. They want the customer loyalty. So they know as well, if they do price right, if they take price up, which they probably still will this year, but if they do it consistently, like last year, they didn't do it too much. They introduced a new tier or a new name on the plan and they increased it by 99 cents, but they really didn't touch the customer much. But if they do that, right, they also risk of higher churn. But the financials would be better, but we'll see what they do this year. Fiber ads for the year, 1 million, huge. I can't stress that enough. Especially once you include FWA into that mix. I mean, Verizon has the ability to grow fiber at scale, FWA at scale, however they choose to, and then still have the wireless growth that they've been enjoying for the last several quarters. So this is some of the 2025 outlook. More or less the same, what we've seen. The mobile service revenue growth expected 2 to 3% range. The capital investment for the year, $22 billion, massive amounts of money going back into the network. Free cash flow, as I said, excluding DirecTV, expected to be at $16 billion. And then the adjusted EPS, excluding DirecTV. Now most of it is being reported excluding DirecTV because that's falling off. 1.97 to 207. So that's a big quarter for AT&T. I'm going to tune into the call, give you guys some further updates. Just a huge quarter for the company. You really can't ask of anything better from AT&T. If we're talking comparisons, maybe the financial side, they lack a bit to Verizon, which is, the industry leader, as some say. But other than that, they do great, right? Both of them post much higher earnings than and revenues than T-Mobile, as an example. We'll see where T-Mobile stands a couple of years from now once they get that fiber rolling and once they grow some more. But both of them do way better on revenues and such versus T-Mobile. So we got to keep that in mind. We'll see T-Mobile earnings on Wednesday. But for now, let me tune into this earnings call. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.